What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So this year I had some pretty specific goals in mind, and I'm gonna tell you whether or not I am already on track to meeting them. So this week is the official week marking 6 weeks until our final frost here in Zone 6A, Central Ohio. I am in Columbus, Ohio, so my fellow Columbus gardeners or in close areas, hey, we almost there, y'all. We are almost there. So today I want to talk to you guys about the tomato varieties that I will be starting. But before we get there, I wanted to share with you guys the goals that I had set as far as tomatoes were concerned. Last year I did not do well with tomatoes. I feel like everybody kind of had some issues gardening because the weather was extreme AF. In June we went on vacation, and that was also the week that we went on vacation was also the week that everybody in the country was experiencing these crazy heat waves. I want to say it got like up to like 102 while we were gone. So right at that point it was like the peak growth, and like, you know, that's when all the flowers and everything were coming on my tomato plants. And sadly enough, I lost a lot due to inadequate watering. I didn't have any irrigation set up at all, so that was kind of my bad for failing to prepare. But it's not something that I've ever had to worry about before either, and I guess I should have just done my due diligence. But in addition to that, I didn't do well with the tomatoes that I had, but I also did not pick varieties that would be helpful and beneficial to my needs as far as what I plan to do with those tomatoes. I typically like to make a lot of salsa, a lot of sauce, and then I like to have some for fresh eating as well. So this year I wanted to make sure to pick out a nice balance of varieties between paste tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and slicers. So in my planner, I kept some notes just reviewing the previous year of, you know, some of my wins in the garden, some of my fails in the garden. And as far as tomatoes were concerned, like I said, I wanted to have a healthy balance of all three types of tomatoes. Excuse me. I'm a little under the weather, which is why I'm outside. I'm hoping the fresh air will kind of make me feel better. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I narrowed everything down. What I have listed here, which is hilarious, that I want 2 paste, 2 slicers, and 2 cherries, which leaves me with 6 varieties. I don't know why in my brain I thought that I was only gonna grow 6 tomatoes. That's not how this is going down. So let's go on ahead, dig into our container here, and let's go through the varieties that I'm actually going to be starting. So I kind of organized my seeds, that way we can go through this fairly quick. I'm going to share with you guys like my experience with some of the ones that I have grown before, but a lot of these are, not a lot of them, plenty of these are brand new to me, so I'm really excited for that as well. So let's just dive in. First thing first is the Brad's Atomic. These are seeds that I saved from last year. So last year I purchased seed from, I want to say it was Dollar General, and the plant that produced from the seeds that I started, first of all, the germination was really tough on those plants, and I don't know if that's typical of Brad's Atomic. I know it is like a hybrid, so like, you know, maybe it's not completely, you know, what's the word, regulated, I don't know. But what I did was saved the largest, beautifulest tomato seeds from that one plant. So I'm hoping that with time I can create a stronger, more prolific plant that produces beautiful, nice fruits. But this tomato is so different from any other cherry tomato I've ever grown ever before. First of all, I've never grown like a green type before. So first of all, it's beautiful, it's striking, but then the flavor profile is different as well. It's kind of smoky, it kind of has a tang to it, but also sweet. I don't know. I know Jess from Roots and Refuge has described this to kind of have like a beer-like flavor, and like when I'm running back those flavor profiles, I can see how that could be true with the sweetness, but like a slight bitterness. It's different. So I'm excited to grow those again. Hopefully they do better than they did last year, child. Then the next tomato or cherry tomato is the Cherry Super Sweet 100. This is a hybrid tomato. I grew these last year. This guy is just a major producer as far as cherry tomatoes are concerned. You can see it's just like your typical red cherry, but it is tried and true. It's going to produce. I really want to do this video outside, but it's getting windy. We might have to take this inside. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, this guy produces so lovely. So I will be remiss to never grow this again. I will be growing this in my garden every year if possible. Another cherry tomato that I have grown many times is the blueberries. This guy is a little bit more on the zesty side. It has a more acidic taste to it, but I do enjoy it mostly for like blending in with other flavor profiles. Like this is probably one of my favorite tomatoes to put into like a corn and bean salad, because you're already getting that sweetness from the corn. The zest, the acid that this brings is really nice, and it's just a beautiful tomato. So the blueberries are definitely on the list. So the next tomato here is the Sun Gold. I have not grown this from seed before, and the plant that I purchased, like I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was like very disease ridden and did not produce a whole lot. So I'm hoping starting this from seed myself will be a lot more prolific and abundant. But these guys are just like, I mean, they are everybody's fave for a reason. They are delicious and they are gorgeous to look at as well. So I'm really excited to be trying these out again. And then this guy is completely brand new, I believe, from Botanical Interest, which is the Patio Choice tomato. It is a bush variety, so it grows compact and kind of low to the ground. My plans for this guy is to put this in Solana's garden. That way I don't have to worry about staking anything. She can kind of pick as she wishes, and I just think that it's going to be, you know, a really cute addition to her little raised beds, right? There's not a flavor profile on this seed packet when I was looking, but if it's anything in comparison to any other like yellow cherry variety, it's typically a little bit more on the sweet side, not so acidic. So yeah, I'm excited to try that out. All right, next up, let's talk Romas really quick. Let's just talk about, like, you know, the most basic Roma that I have here, which came from Survival Garden Seeds. If you guys are interested in their survival seed packets, they have a lot of instruction as far as how to save seeds and store them away for, you know, your survival needs or just for long storage keeping. All of that information will be down in the description below, along with a coupon code. So if you really want to try these guys out, I believe if you purchase the kits using my coupon code, everything ends up, or each packet ends up being less than $1. So this is like a steal of a deal. The one thing that I will say about Survival Garden Seeds, as far as like the tomatoes that I've received thus far anyways, they don't have like really specific varieties. This is just your classic Roma. So if you like, or if you're into like more, you know, fun varieties, that's not what you're going to get in these packets. You are going to get tried and true varieties that will actually produce a lot and be able to store away a lot. So little, you know, side note. But anyway, so of course we are going to be growing a classic Roma. And then this guy I have grown one, well, last year was the first time that I grew this. This is the Pianalo del Vesuvio. I don't know, child. You can read it yourself. But this guy is claimed to be a paste tomato, and you can see this is what I was drawn in by, were these clusters of tomatoes. And I don't know if that's how they are grown or stored, but it says that they are crack resistant and long storing paste tomatoes. It doesn't list how big they get, but I'm going to give them another shot because last year they were not very prolific at all. But I also, the way that everything was kind of laid out in the garden, I don't think that it lended itself to getting very much airflow. And then I told you the whole thing with the heat and blah 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 blah. Anyways, so we're trying this again. We're gonna see what happens, child. All right, and another one that I have grown before is the Purple Russian. This is a Roma type, and it's a beautiful, obviously I don't have a picture here, but it is a beautiful like purple skin, not super deep purple, but like kind of like how a Cherokee Purple has like some streaks of red, green, and purple. That's exactly how this guy is. Now, if you look at the Baker Creek seed, if you look at their website, it's described to have like a bacon smoky flavor. I ain't gonna go as far as to say like bacon, but it definitely has like a different flavor profile, which I really appreciated for fresh eating. So yeah, we're gonna grow this guy again. And then the final one here, as far as our pastes are concerned, we have the Oxheart, which I have never grown before. So I'm really excited to try this out. This guy is supposed to produce like some pretty large, healthy, fleshy, low seed fruits. So we're gonna see. But yeah, I'm excited about this one because I believe it to be a very beautiful tomato, but the way it's described, I love it. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, and of course we are going to go through our slicers, which yeah, we have quite a few. First, I have 2 seed packets here, which don't have any pictures. This one I got in a swap, which is the orange accordion large tomato. I picked these up, or I got this in a swap through Garden of Queenie, and then also from her I purchased the mushroom basket tomatoes, I believe. So this one is an orange accordion, and it's probably looks exactly how it sounds. It's kind of got like that accordion like shape, kind of like larger fruits. And then the mushroom basket, I actually can't remember what this guy looked like or if it was a red tomato or not, but I'm still really excited to try it out. So those are the first 2. Trying to hold everything down because it is windy. Another one from Survival Garden Seed. This one is kind of specific, which is your classic beefsteak shaped fruits, rosy red skin, great slicer tomato is the description on the back that I just went through here. All right, and then next up, of course, a tried and true. Are these? Hold on, let me go back. Rewind. This one is another one that is new for me. I've had these seeds now for the past couple years, so I'm like, let me go on ahead and just try it out. This is the Orange Jazz. You can see it kind of has those streaks through it. I think it's just going to be a beautiful addition to the garden, and picking it, putting it in a basket with everything else looking fabulous. So yeah, let me go through this description. So it says that this beefsteak is from a breeder, blah, 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 fruity and juicy with a crisp texture and complex flavor. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this guy out. Like I said, I've never grown the Orange Jazz, but I've had these seeds for a while and it was time to put them in the rotation. You know what I mean? Now, these next 2 are always and forever going to be a part of my garden. First, let's start with the Black Beauty. The Black Beauty is one of the first heirlooms that I started from seed and grew myself in my little home garden, and it made me so proud because it's unique. It was something to talk about, but this guy is just so prolific. The one thing that I will say about this is the fruit size varies. So if you're looking for something that is a specific size, this one is probably not the one for you. You kind of have to just roll with the punches with this one. This one will produce like little golf ball size fruits. to like, you know, pretty large fruits. So, but again, it's just something to talk about because it's considered one of the darkest tomatoes to be grown. So yeah. All right, and then the next one, of course, is the Cherokee Purple. This one is just absolutely delicious, you guys. I love it so much. I think the first few years that I grew this, I ended up purchasing the plant itself from like the nursery or whatever, but I finally picked up some seeds and I'm so happy that I did, because I will always and forever have this in my garden because they are so damn good. Last year, this one was like the one that held on so tough. When all the rest of my tomatoes were like pooped out and like not giving what it needed to give, the Cherokee Purple was still going strong. And so again, that's why it's going to be a staple in the garden. Now, an honorable mention, ground cherries. Listen, I don't have to start seeds for those because those guys, I know that I'm gonna have so many volunteers because I had so many damn ground cherries drop that were neglected in the garden bed. So I know that I'm gonna have something popping up out there. So on ground cherries, I'm good. I don't need to start seeds. I'm pretty faithful that I will get something, you know, along the way. But I do want to sow, or I already did sow. Actually, I started all of these seeds already because I already did this video, but I hated the footage. Anyways, the Queen of Malanaco Tomatillo. You guys, last year was the first time that I successfully grew it. I tried to start it the year before, but I believe that was the year that my dog got a hold of, or flipped my, I don't know what happened, child. It just wasn't a success. But last year was, and I will say these guys are so interesting because they're not quite like a tomato. They're not like your traditional tomatillo in flavor. They're a lot more sweet and like fruity, and I just love them. I ended up adding them into some salsa recipes, and I mean, it is a good addition to like just add a little sweetness as opposed to like using peaches or something like that. So yeah, if you have not tried growing these guys, go for it because it's definitely worth it. Now this one says, or this packet here says that it was overpacked due to low germination. I mean, last year these germinated beautifully. You can see this was packaged for 2019, which is interesting because last year, like I said, the seeds germinated beautifully and I had really good success. So that is it for all of the tomato varieties. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing my input on the varieties that I have grown. Definitely stay tuned because we got a lot coming up here. As I mentioned, I did start a lot more seeds, and I'll do a separate video for that and share. So yeah, down in the comment section, let me know what varieties are you growing. Do you recommend any others? I would love to hear because I'm not above going back to the nursery and grabbing more seeds and starting more tomatoes that I really don't have space for. And by the way, I said that I was growing 6 tomatoes. I have 16 varieties here. So I have to be creative in how I choose to do my garden layout this year to make sure I can accommodate space for all of these suckers. Still figuring it out. It'll be all right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. And until the next time, peace.